Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And again, Madam Secretary, I appreciate you being here. The war in Russia really exposed our energy security vulnerabilities and the danger of relying on adversaries for our energy needs. And I've had numerous conversations with our European allies, and they regret some of the decisions that were made that led them to this place to be dependent, dangerously dependent on Russia natural gas. And they've been pleading with us for years for America to increase our LNG exports. Now, in America, we are blessed with some of the world's largest and cleanest supplies of fossil fuels, the critical minerals for renewables, plentiful supplies for uranium to power our nuclear reactors. But unfortunately, we're falling behind on the processing of those minerals and uranium. China controls more than 90% of the critical minerals processing used for renewables and batteries. And the U.S. nuclear fleet imports more than 20% of its enriched uranium from Russia. Reliance on Russian-sourced nuclear fuel has weakened our nuclear fuel infrastructure and now puts our whole nuclear security at risk. Congress imposed a ban on Russian oil and gas imports. Do you support a ban on importing Russian-enriched uranium into the U.S. as well?
I would certainly consider that if we have developed our own supply. We want to be energy independent. We don't want to harm the existing fleet, but we want to build up that energy supply, and hopefully Congress
Thank you. I'm going to take back my time, and we need I have a whole bunch of yes or no questions here. Will you commit to working with me on legislation to ban the import of Russian-sourced nuclear fuels?
Again, I would support making sure that our fleet is secure and that we have enough supply, and that means making it here. And I hope we can work together on a uranium strategy that ensures that we can have that for our own fleet.
Yes, and we got to ban natural gas, or we got to ban the nuclear coming from Russia, and then we got to work on getting supply here too. Yes. Yes or no? Do you agree that because China controls more than 90% of the critical materials used to make solar panels and batteries, that America is becoming dependent on one supplier, China, for our energy needs?
I think America is becoming more dependent on ourselves because of the investments that were made through the Inflation Reduction Act. The Loan Program Office has just financed several processing.
Nothing's being manufactured yet.
Well,
yes or no?
But it is going to be. It is going to be. That's what's so exciting, all the announcements that have been made about batteries, battery supply chain coming to the United
Reclaiming my time,
States.
Are you aware that China uses slave labor and is the largest polluter in the world? How many critical mineral processing facilities do we have in the United States?
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying, is that we must build more processing in the United States, and that's exactly
Madam Secretary,
what the Inflation Reduction
reclaiming
Act
my
and
time.
Let's
start with how many do we have right now? How many do we have right now?
We just, in fact, the Loan Program Office just financed 3 additional
How many
ones.
existing processing
We
facilities?
we have not done that. It has been in Asia. This is exactly why we cannot stand by and allow that to continue. We want to bring, we don't disagree, I don't think.
Okay.
We want to bring processing here and do it here.
Thank you. How long does it take to permit a critical minerals processing facility in the United States?
Far too long, far too long.
How many years?
It takes years. It is ridiculous and unacceptable.
So how many years?
It shouldn't take as long as it does.
How many years?
Let's work on slowing let's work on speeding up.
You don't want to say how many years it takes.
Well, I don't
talking about
responsibility for how many years it takes. It takes too long. It's years, and it shouldn't be. We should be doing it much more quickly.
So it's going to be years, and in the meantime,
unless we do
there's
permitting
no
reform.
processing in the United States of America, which means it all is going to go to China and come back.
That's exactly what we're not going to happen. That's why we have to do permitting reform.
If you don't have processing in the United States of America,
we are investing in it right now. That's why all of these new battery companies and processors have announced they're coming.
Reclaiming my time here. Would you support a prohibition on using taxpayer dollars to purchase renewable energy technologies that are manufactured with slave labor?
No.
You won't support a prohibition?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said, would I support? I do not support slave labor making solar panels or us supporting it in any way.
Would you support a prohibition on using taxpayer dollars to do this, to purchase? Would you support a prohibition on using taxpayer dollars to purchase renewable energy technologies manufactured with slave labor?
Yes.
Would you support a ban on importing renewable energy technologies made with components mined or processed in factories that violate America's environmental standards?
I'd have to look specifically at what you were saying on that, but I want for us to be manufacturing in the United
I do
States.
too.
All the components, the full supply chain for
I do too.
solar,
I
as
do
well
too.
as for
Thank you.
batteries.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I think my point is the difference between what the dream is and what reality is. And the reality is it's not happening here. It's happening. We are dependent upon China. And so we can't get the cart before the horse. I yield back.
Julie yields back. I'll now recognize the ranking member, Mr. Palumbo, for 5 minutes.